Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to understand jQuery library methods. And in this lecture, I will explain how to use text method and attribute method. And before I start explaining these methods, let me tell you that in this lecture, we are going to use a HTML template. And I will use this template in the remaining course. So you can also download this template from the portal. So we already have a project folder, and in this project folder we have a jQuery library and an index.html file. So let me copy my template. So this is a template. Let me copy it and let me move it into the project folder, and then I will use this home.html file, and this is basically a template, and you can also download it from the portal, right? Let me show you how this template looks like. So if you right click on it, just open it in a Google Chrome and see this is how this template looks like. So that is the header. It looks like a website. So that is the header portion, and then we have a body of the page like hello world, welcome to jQuery, and learning jQuery text and attribute methods, and then we have a button here. Let's open the Visual Studio Code and start working with these methods. So I have a Visual Studio Code here. So let's open the project folder in this Visual Studio Code. So let me show you the code of this template. So this is basically a template, and I am using some cascading style sheet, and I am taking that style sheet from a third party. So you can include those style sheets with the help of link tag, and then I have some division tags here, and then this is the navigation bar. So I have these navigations, and then we have some content here, right? And if you click here, you can get what is available in the folder. I have a home.html, index.html, and a jQuery file. By closing this window, you can see my cursor. You can get some extra space to work in the Visual Studio Code. So let's start working with text and attribute functions. And remember that I am using these script tags in the body section, where I am closing the body, just right on the closing body tag. And I am also using a ready function. So even though you are using these script tags at the bottom, but still as a precaution, you can also use ready function. Let's start working with the text method. So I am writing here a dollar, and then I am targeting all division tags, and then I'm saying I want text of all division tags, and I'm getting the results in a data variable, and then we are going to display the data in a console window, and I can write it like this. And remember one point, these semicolons are optional. It's your choice. If you want to place these semicolons, then it's okay. If you are not willing to add semicolons, then again it's okay. Let me explain you the meaning of this code. So what we are saying that we want text written in all division tags. So you know that what is the job of a dollar function. It will execute your query, and once the query is executed, it will return a wrapper set. So how the wrapper set of this query will look like? So let me draw a wrapper set, and then I can explain it in a better way. Well, this is how the wrapper set will look like, and this wrapper set will be returned by the jQuery function, right? So that is the output of, let me take my drawing tool here. So that is the output of this dollar function. So because we are saying that we want all division tags from the document, right? So we are going to retrieve all div objects from the document object model. As you know that your document object model is the exact replica of your HTML document. So we can also understand the process by looking at our HTML document. Well, in our HTML document, we have total 5 division tags. So let me show you. Oh, well, if I go there, so this is my first division tag, and this one is the second div tag, and here is the third one, and then we have a fourth division tag, and then we have a fifth one. So that is why in the wrapper set, we are getting 5 objects, right? 5 division objects. Now what does this text function will do? Well, the job of this text function is to retrieve the content, the text of all division tags. So what it will do, so it will first go to the, let me take my cursor here, maybe thin one. So first this text function will go to the first div tag and retrieve its content, and then this text function will go to the second division object and retrieve its content, and then it will go to the third div tag and retrieve its content, and likewise it will then go to the this div tag, and then it will go to the last div tag, and finally your text function will the concatenate the content of all division tags and return the entire content in this variable. And finally you are going to display the entire data, the concatenated data, in a console.log window. Remember that a wrapper set is exactly array of objects, right? And it is returned by the dollar function or jQuery function. Now let me erase everything here, and let's see what would be the output of this code, right? So let me erase everything here, and then we will see. And let me make a space here. Let me remove some extra spaces, right? And let me save my document. Now let's see which is the first div tag. The first division tag is this one. So it starts from here and it ends right here. Okay, so this one is the outer div, and the content in this division tag is, see, so we are looking for the text, right? So in this division tag we have this learning jQuery as a text, we have this text, we have about, sitemap, upload, query, and then we have this word as a text, then we have welcome to jQuery as a text, and then we have learning jQuery text and attribute methods, and then make changes. This is the entire text written in the outer div tag, right? And then go to the next div tag. So this is the next div tag, it starts from here and it ends here, and the content in this division tag is again a learning jQuery, home, about, sitemap, upload, and query. And then we go to the next div tag which starts from here and ends here, and the text written in this is hello world, welcome to jQuery, learning jQuery text and attribute methods, and make changes. And then move to the next div tag, we have this one, and here we have written welcome to jQuery, and the last div tag, in this we have written learning jQuery text and attribute methods. So your text function is going to combine the text of all div tags and going to display in the console of your browser. So let's execute this code. So let me open my browser, and if I go to the project, and then we have to open the home.html file here, and then open Google Chrome, and now you have to right click and inspect, and here is the console window, and in this window you can see that these are the contents that we retrieved from all div tags. You can see that we have a complete output here. So this is the combined text of all 5 division tags, right? So this is console window. Now let's go back to our code and see what other things we can do. Let me open my Visual Studio Code here. So this is how you can retrieve a text. When you use a text function and you do not provide any argument, it will return the text of the required objects. So in this case, the required objects are div objects. So what would happen if I write hello jQuery? Now we have provided an argument in a text function. So we are saying that rather than retrieving the content of div text, we are willing to set the content, right? We are going to change the content of div text, and that content should be hello jQuery. Well, so the bottom line is we are going to change the content of all division tags to hello jQuery. Let's understand this again with the help of our wrapper set. So let me first make a wrapper set, because whenever you execute your query, a wrapper set will be returned, and then you can better understand the example. This is how the wrapper set will look like. And then what the text function will do, the text function will first try to change the content of this div tag, and then your text function will try to change the content of this div tag, and so on, right? If we execute this code, we will get a very strange result. So let's run the code first, and then I will explain everything. So let me show you my web page first. So if you see that in this web page, well, so in this web page we have a navigation bar, and then we have a body of our web page. Now if I refresh my page, see what will happen. Now let's refresh the page and see everything is gone here. Even the navigation bar is gone, and the body of the page, it's also looking very weird. All we get is hello jQuery. So let's see what is happening here. Well, first of all, this text function, it will try to change the content of first div tag, this one. Okay, so let's see where is our div tag. Now if you go to the top, see your document, we have this div tag, this one. This is the first div tag, and inside this div tag we have this content, and it is still here. Okay, and that is the closing div tag. So what your text function will do, it will replace everything written in this div tag with the content hello jQuery. Okay, so everything inside this div tag, it will be replaced with a hello jQuery. So that is why you are getting this weird output. Okay, so our navigation bar is gone, our content of the body is gone. So be careful when you are dealing with the nested division tags. So this is happening because you have a nested div tags, right? Now let me erase this thing, and then let me teach you how can you avoid this. Well, let me erase everything here. Now we do not need it. So now let me tell you how can you target a specific div tag. Now imagine you are only interested in changing the content of this div tag, right? So what you can do, you can give an ID to this div tag. Let me write here. Let's write it ABC. Okay, and then in the dollar function I can write div hash ABC. So what does it mean? I am telling that I want to change the content of a div tag whose ID is ABC, right? So ID is a kind of name. So you are giving a ID or a name to a div tag, and then my dollar function can identify that where is this div tag. So you can read it like this. So change the content of a div tag whose ID is ABC, and then change the content to hello jQuery. Okay, so let's save this document and let's run this. I'm going to refresh my page again, and see, I got the content hello jQuery here. Now I do not have a weird output. Well, this is all about text function. So with the help of text function, you can retrieve a data and you can set a data. Now let's talk about attribute function. And to understand attribute function, so I am going to take another example. So I have a Google image here. Let's copy this image and then I'm going to store this image into my project folder. So here I'm pasting it, and then we are going to write a image tag here, right? Image source equals to, and then you can see you got google.png here, and then I can specify the height, let's say 150 pixels, and then I can write the width of this image, again 150 pixels, and then I'm closing my image tag, right? So now let's understand what are the attributes of this image tag. So source src, so this is the attribute of an image tag. Then the height is also an attribute of the image tag, and then width, it is also an attribute. Similarly, id is also an attribute. So these are the attributes of elements, right? And with the help of attribute function, either you can retrieve the value of a attribute or you can reset the value of a attribute. Let me first retrieve the value of height and width, and then I am saying where, so let's say capital H equals to dollar, and then I'm writing image, and I'm going to fetch its attribute. Then you have to specify the name of attribute. So I'm saying I want height, and once you get the attribute you can alert it, and I'm writing the height is, and then you can write plus h. Now let's execute this code and see. So let's write and see, I got the height is 150 pixels, right? You can see the output here. This is the height, right? So just click on the OK, and similarly what I can do, I can write width here, what is the width of my image, and then I can display the width here. You can change the variable name. Now save your document and run your document again. Let me refresh my page. See, the height is 150 pixels. So maybe I have not changed the message here. So let's write width here, save it again, and then refresh the page. See, I got the width is 150 pixels, right? Now let's change the value of these attributes. So what I can do is, uh, let me erase everything here, and then I will write, and let's do something else. So if you have noticed that we have a button here right now, okay? So when I click on this button, I can change the size of my image by changing the value of height and width. So let's do it. So go back. Now I'm going to erase it, and see, we have a button here. So by clicking on this button, I would like to change the height and width of the image. So what I can do here, I can write dollar and then specify your button, and then I would write click, and then you have to pass an anonymous function, right? So what I am saying, that when I click on this button, this function should be executed, and within this function I need to make some changes. So here I will do dollar like my image dot attribute, and then I need to specify the attribute. So let's say I am saying height, and then I want the height to 250 pixels. Okay, and I want to do this exactly with the width. All you need to do is you need to change the attribute name, and again the width is 250 pixels, right? So let's save this document and refresh your page. Okay, now if I click on the make changes button, see what will happen. See, the height and width of your image has changed. So this is about attribute function. So with the help of attribute, you can even return the attribute value, what is the present value of height and width, or with the help of attribute you can change the values of existing attributes. Like the previous values of height and width was 150 pixel, and now I have changed it to 250 pixels each. So this is about text and attribute function. And in the next lectures you will explore more jQuery library functions.